So we've gotten some new leaked Star Wars Episode 8 plot details, and of course there are spoilers ahead. This is coming from Latino Review, which in the past I have found to be quite accurate. So if you don't want to know anything about Star Wars Episode 8, specifically something that happens with Leia and Laura Dern's character and Poe Dameron as well, go ahead and click off. But if you're willing to be spoiled slightly for Episode 8, stay tuned. So there are two really substantial reveals that we get in this leaked plot details, but we're going to go ahead and go piece by piece with some of the smaller ones first, and we'll kind of sprinkle the big ones in there. So the first one is that Laura Dern is a Resistance officer or captain. Basically, she's a very high-ranking member of the Resistance. It says that most of the time she is on a very, very large ship surrounded by a lot of Resistance fighters. Now, a lot of these Resistance fighters are described as hairy aliens, so not a lot of humans in there, and it's also said that there is a large amount of droids. In fact, a highly unusual amount of droids. And on this ship is Poe Dameron, and Poe Dameron is a part of a group of very beaten up Resistance fighters. It looks like they've been through a lot. They've been in fights with the First Order, and there's very few of them. It's also made clear that there has been some type of large-scale attack on the Resistance and that there aren't very many left, and that Poe Dameron and his little group of people are some that were lucky enough to get on to Laura Dern's ship, and now Laura Dern is basically in charge of the Resistance. It's said that Laura Dern's character even has a speech where it says that there has been a large attack and that now they are the last of the Resistance, and that now they're more like the rebels than they were ever like the Resistance, and they've been reduced as they were at the time of the Empire. So that is a really big plot detail about Episode 8. Now we know that the Resistance has undergone some type of huge attack at the hands of the First Order, and I speculate probably Kylo Ren has been directly involved with this attack to some extent, possibly even the Knights of Ren, and they've greatly diminished the Resistance numbers. So that's really big, like I said. Now let's go ahead and get into the other really big piece of this new plot leak, and that is that General Leia is apparently gravely injured by the First Order attack and is now undergoing some type of medical treatment, thus leaving Laura Dern's officer character in command of basically what she describes as the rebels now. So the next piece we get is that Poe Dameron and Laura Dern's character do not get along at all. In fact, they have quite a very unstable relationship. They're constantly disagreeing with one another, although Laura Dern's character does seem to outrank him by a great deal, thus putting her in charge, even though Poe Dameron and I assume a lot of other Resistance members don't agree with some of the choices that she's deciding to make now that she's in charge of the Resistance. What are those choices? They're currently an unknown, but I'm sure that they might not be good overall. Briefly going back to General Leia, I just want to talk about that for a second. It's unknown whether the Knights of Ren or Kylo Ren are involved to some extent. I would assume that they are, but it is also made very clear that General Leia is hurt to a large extent, although she is not dead. It's also unclear where General Leia is, whether she is on the ship with Laura Dern and Poe Dameron or somewhere else. Honestly, I would assume that she could be on the ship, but it's also likely that she could be somewhere else as well with other Resistance members, and there could be more pockets of Resistance than Laura Dern's character initially perceived. And the last piece of information that we get is that Laura Dern's character's ship is actually overtaken by Poe Dameron and some of the Resistance members that I assume were with him and the ones that actually saw the fight and were really injured, and not Laura Dern's crew, but it is said that they take over the ship and deactivate a lot of the droids. So there's a lot of mentions in droids in this plot leak, which is very interesting. Laura Dern's character may have a particular fascination with them, or she might be something like, I trust the droids more. It's very interesting, and it says that there's not a lot of human people on the ship, as it said earlier, so I'd be very interested as to why Laura Dern's character feels that there shouldn't be very many humans on board with her ship, because it doesn't say that she's dressed in makeup or any type of prosthetic, but it's again made clear that there's a lot of droids and non-human characters, so I'm very interested as of why that is. It's also said that Poe Dameron actually holds a blaster to Laura Dern's character's face, so that's really interesting. Of course, Poe Dameron decides to take over and I assume go help out some people that may need their help that Laura Dern's character doesn't want to go help. That's kind of the most likely scenario I see right now. I also had something pop into my head that Laura Dern actually could be a double agent for the First Order, but this doesn't exactly match up because the First Order doesn't really have a lot of sympathy for alien characters, and again, it is made clear that there are a lot of alien species on this ship that Laura Dern appears to be in command of. So at this point, that's all the information that we have right now. Really, two big reveals. One, that there was a large-scale attack on the Resistance and that now it's been depleted in numbers a great deal. And the second being that General Leia was supposedly injured in that attack by something that we're really unfamiliar with at this point. Again, I assume Kylo Ren might have led the attack. Really, a lot of parallels so far with this leak to the Hoth battle in Empire Strikes Back, although honestly this attack, from what we've heard, appears to be more devastating than the Hoth battle was in Empire. So go ahead and tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about these leaked plot details? What do you guys think is going to happen? Who do you think Laura Dern's character is? Could she be a double agent, or do you think that she's just a Resistance member that doesn't quite see eye to eye with others? Again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter for updates on the channel. We also have a Patreon if you'd like to help contribute to the channel and gain access to some special features. Click the annotations on screen to watch my previous video or a mystery video. Links for all are in the description down below. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.